see you guys in the dark.
I had just recently quit my job at a well-known Canadian store franchise. I was a 17-year-old cashier, and because the city I live in has no or very few Walmarts, I guess all the Walmart chains also come here as well. Our uniforms are by no means revealing or suggestive, but I guess the fact that I don't have a resting bitch face has made me a larger target for wackos. I think that the first time I noticed someone following me was on my way back from work at about 4 p.m. This was a 1 kilometer walk. I probably wouldn't have noticed if the guy wasn't so obvious about it. He was wearing all black, which isn't very common, but his behavior is what really kicked it off. I was running a little late for work, and I sped up my pace. This man had sped up his pace too, to be within 1 to 2 feet of me. I think that he's just trying to pass me on the sidewalk. I'll go to the grass and slow down. I do so, and he follows me into the grass. When I look behind at him, making direct eye contact, he doesn't so much as nod at me, just continues staring at me with some weird amusement in his eyes. I can hear him breathing. We're next to the busy street, and I can hear his breathing over the sound of an industrial truck. Keep in mind, this is the middle of the pandemic. You have to stay at least 2 meters away from me at all times. I then quickened my pace to the point where I'm halfway between power walking and jogging. When I look behind at him, he's trying to keep up with my threatened pace, but I'm managing to put some distance between both of us. Unfortunately, this did not last for long as I approached the intersection. There was another woman there. I desperately try to make eye contact with her, but I fail. I look behind me, and he's really way too close to my face. I stepped into the street, a bit just to put some distance between us. He still has that weird look in his eye. Thankfully, the crosswalk signal turns on, and I walk as fast as humanly possible. The man is now jogging, trying to keep up with me. I turn to go into the car park, and I manage to lose him for a little bit. All the while, I'm still repeating, fucking run, bitch, run, over and over into my head. I look behind me, and he's made it into the parking lot. So I essentially stop trying to not look crazy and just run through the store doors and wait for an elevator. Right as I make it into the elevator and the doors are closing, I see the man walk into the store, staring at me while the elevator closes. I have a second story to tell. There was also a guy at my work in a red puffy jacket who was recording me while I was ringing a customer up. Suddenly approaches me and discreetly asks me, "Did you know that a man is recording you?" Above the shelves. I look over and sure enough, there's someone recording me and failing to be discreet about it. I thank the customer for letting me know and calling a manager, making eye contact with the man. I really don't know why he's recording me. I'm not famous or anything. I'm only 17 at the time, and he's only recording me. Why, I have zero idea. I still have no clue as of this day. If anyone has any information on this creeper recording random girls and why they do, I'd greatly appreciate it if they'd enlighten me. I was fully clothed. Nothing was off about my face. There was nothing that could make me otherwise stand out among the other 5 cashiers on the floor. When he got to another cashier, one of my managers had approached him and asked to look at his phone. He refused, saying that he was only taking pictures of products and wasn't recording anyone. They let him go. Later on that day, I bought a knife because honestly, taking public transport at 10 p.m. is whack sometimes, especially when there's junkies and guys beating up their friends, abandoned buildings just right behind your bus stop, and other things that go bump in the night. I quit my job because I don't feel safe there anymore. The fact that they let our shifts end at 10 p.m. was definitely also a reason why I had left. So I just got back from a Target that's in a different part of town that I live in. It had something specifically in stock that I wanted, so I made the drive over there. I realized that this Target was in a rougher area of the city, and when I went inside, they had various items locked up. Also, there was no music playing over the speakers at this Target. It was strangely quiet. I had chosen to go in early in the morning, so had a better chance of getting the item that I wanted. The employees were very nice. Every one of them said good morning to me. So I get in there, make a beeline to the section of the store that I'm interested in, which was at the very back of the store. I got my item and headed to the Christmas section just to browse. That's the first time I hear loud noises, like dress shoes clopping down the aisle that I'm in. I look up, and there's a man dressed in a suit and dress shoes. He looks to be in his early 30s, I guess. He comes really close and near me and starts looking at the items around me. I have a basket, and I think, oh, I'm just in his way. I briefly look at his face as I start to move. He starts to suddenly stare at me. He looks panicked a little bit. His demeanor was like someone who had taken like Coke or something jerky and repetitive, shaky, and hyper. It unsettled me, I'm not gonna lie. I thought maybe he works for Target and he's trying to make sure that I'm not stealing. Whatever the case is, I go to a different aisle, and that's when I hear the dress shoes come my way once again. I look up, and there he is again. He stares over at me with the same expression, and I don't know, I got this sense of dread. He has no basket or items in his hand. He just has a cell phone that he's kind of glancing at from time to time. I again move to a different aisle. I'm still trying to convince myself that I'm being paranoid, like this isn't happening. He follows me again. At this point, it feels like he's chasing me. I just hear his dress shoes on the tile following me around. I call my husband, and he answers. We start talking on the phone. The man was hot on my heels and just walked right next to me. He would then stop right next to me to search for an item and then leave. If I stayed on the aisle, he would come back and then right next to me on the other side of me and do it once again. That's also when I noticed that nobody else was back there, no employee, and no other customers. So while on the phone with my husband, I make my way to the checkout, checking over my shoulder that he isn't following me out of the store. But he didn't, as far as I can tell. So I made it home, and I'm okay. The situation scared the daylights out of me. I'm not gonna lie about that. He just didn't look the part of someone who would be stalking someone through Target. He was very well dressed, overdressed even, and a younger looking guy. But that's a lesson for me to learn, I guess, about thinking what a dangerous or unsettled person would look like. This all happened a handful of years ago when I was 16. I'm 22 now. Unlike my siblings, who my parents spoil with rides to high school every single morning, I had to take the bus every morning. The bus stop wasn't too far from our house, so I didn't really mind. But that 10-minute walk often became a 5-minute sprint when I couldn't force myself to roll out of bed in time on those early mornings. The bus stop pulled from our whole neighborhood, really, and there were always new faces coming out to catch the bus for the first time, but a good amount of regulars, too. We'd all ride the bus together in that half asleep state teenagers are in, especially at 8 o'clock in the morning. But the bus ride homes were always happy with chatter, with everyone just glad that the day was over and done with, and we can go home to watch baseball or play video games or whatever we really wanted. I had a close group of friends in high school, many of whom I was still quite close with today. We had a group chat and everything that was called the Boys, which we'd use to talk anything from baseball to school drama. It was Christmas break of 2017 when it happened. On Christmas Day, I'm at my grandparents' place, opening up presents and eating a feast with the whole family. When my buddy R texts the group, "Did you guys hear? Talk about something I don't want to do on Christmas. This day is for the family, not for taking some school drama with the lads." He then sends an article from our local newspaper. Teen suspected of murder, police commencing manhunt, sprawled across the top of the page. I'm thinking, who the heck could this be? And why the hell is R sending us this on Christmas Day? That's when I see the guy's face. I almost don't recognize him because the photo that was given was him without glasses, which I was used to him seeing with. Then it hit me. I ride the bus with this kid damn near every single day. He has sat next to me before. Heck, he's in my English class, and we're currently learning Shakespeare together. The police found him hiding in a Walmart parking lot just outside of town. Apparently, he'd stabbed his own mother over 40 times in the back and let her body rot upstairs for a week before he told a friend who immediately had called the police on him. The whole school was pretty shook up by the whole thing. And I remember the teachers all having a nervous look for the few weeks back from break.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications on future videos and become a stalker of the night. And I'll see you next time.